Yep.
It's different. Starting recording.
Yep.
It's actually recording. All right.
Yes.
Does it say recording? Okay, it says recording. All right. All right, everyone. Welcome to the podcast today. We're here with a very, very special guest, the Detroit superstar himself, Mr. Daron Cruickshank. How are you, sir?
How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Nice hat you got there. Nice to have you on. I wanted to know some things about you personally that I never knew. How did you get your start in MMA? Did you wrestle or play basketball or anything in high school?
So I wrestled I started wrestling in middle school, actually. But I actually started doing martial arts when I was really young because both my parents fought kickboxing, and taekwondo. So I've always been around fighting, and really my mom was a professional kickboxer, and I remember like going to shows and watching her fight and doing all that thing. So, and then I kind of knew I was going to start fighting eventually, and I started fighting right after I was done wrestling in college.
Where did your mom kickbox at?
She's all over. She had one fight in Hawaii. She fought all over there, like Michigan and stuff. Okay. I know she fought in Canada too. All kinds of stuff.
And so you were you training with her at a young age? I mean, was she taking you to the gym, things like this?
Yeah, I was the kid that ran around the gym that basically did whatever he wanted to do because his parents were like running the gym and stuff. So, I didn't really take it serious until like I decided when I was done wrestling that I wanted to start fighting.
And were you watching fighting during this time? Pride, UFC, any of this?
Hey, it was Pride going on. The UFC, Matt Hughes was the champion, and he was like on a 6 or 7 fight win streak. Like that was when I really started watching it. And I want to say The Ultimate Fighter just came out. So like season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter, that was huge. And I was like, yeah, I think that's what I want to do.
And so how did you, I know you had how many amateur bouts did you have?
I was 8-1 as an amateur, and I don't know what I am as a pro now.
Yeah, I think 22 and 12, I think something like that. So then you got a chance you were fighting in Michigan. I assume you grew up there your whole life?
Yep.
And you're still there to this day?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like paying it back and trying to help the guys out that are in Michigan get to the next level. I think a lot of guys once they get to a certain level from Michigan they move to Vegas or California or something like that. Florida, to one of the Mecca gyms. I personally want to help the up and coming guys here get to the level that I fought at.
That's an awesome thing to hear. Because like you said, you do see that a lot of guys go to American Top Team in Florida or somewhere else. Giving back is important. Do you have any children?
I actually just had a baby. My first one. Her name is Nova Faye Cruickshank. And I already started calling her Supernova. Her fight name would be Supernova. I don't even know.
What I was gonna say, if she decided to become a fighter, would you be okay with that, or are you doing this so she doesn't have to?
If she wants to fight, I'll teach her everything she needs to know. But actually, I'm a big firm believer in knowing how to defend yourself. So obviously, she will know how to defend herself. But as far as making a career out of it and doing what I do, that's totally up to her. Like I wouldn't force my child to do that, but I will definitely know that they will know how to fire a gun and how to do some hand-to-hand combat.
Right. Would you say that it's a rough life though as a fighter? Would you say that up to this point it's been rough for you, or would you go back and do it exactly the same?
I wouldn't say it's rough. Maybe for the normal person, but it's all I know. Right. I've been wrestling my whole life and competing my whole life, so it's like it's just another day. I don't know how normal people live. They go to work, they hate their work, they wait for the weekend, they party on the weekend, and they hate Monday because they gotta go back to work. That's not the life I live. I love every single day, and you look at my Instagram, my social media, I pretty much have an awesome time all the time.
Yeah, you look like you're having an awesome life. And talking to Showdown Joe Ferraro earlier, I I do my own business as well, so I can't do the 9 to 5 thing because I would not be able to do this podcast. I wouldn't be able to be as invested into my passions as I am. I like to go mountain climbing. I like to do a lot of things, and with the 9 to 5, you get home at 5 o'clock and you want to sit down and watch TV, and life becomes so monotonous and boring. No fucking
Right.
thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
It's,
speaking of
yeah.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the normal life is more of it's guaranteed. I mean, not necessarily guaranteed, but it's like I get a paycheck every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my lifeline. Where when you own your own business and it's you're the like if you don't put the work in, you don't get paid. So it's like you have to do it, and if you don't, then you can't fall back on mommy and daddy every single time. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, see, and like I don't have that choice, to fall back on anybody, and so it pushes me to go forward, but it also allows me to allot time. I live about an hour away from the Great Sand Dunes here in Colorado. Have you ever been there?
I have not. I've been to Colorado, but I haven't been there, and it sounds like an awesome time.
If you get a chance there, and it is the largest dune field in North America, and yeah, it's already like 8,000 feet up there. It's amazing. There's some great hunting grounds out there. I assume you like to hunt?
I actually just picked up coyote hunting. I've deer hunted in the past, like when I was younger and stuff, but deer hunting is like so boring, like deer are everywhere.
Right.
Like, you can hit your car on accident, right?
Yeah.
Coyote hunting, it's a predator versus a predator, and I think it's more challenging. I really like it.
Oh, that's interesting. What are you hunting them with?
6.5 Creedmoor, which is it's actually a BG Defense 6.5 Creedmoor. It's like a AR-10 in 6.5 Creedmoor. That round is amazing.
Oh, I bet. Now that's fun anyway, because like you said, coyotes are, they're a lot harder to even to get than anything. I could go outside my house right now, like you said, and probably go slit a deer's throat with my knife. That's how close they are to my house. It's not very much fun, but I do love deer meat and I love elk meat. So, it's hard to get away from that. What about competitive shooting? Do you do any of that?
I mean, if you know who I am, I definitely do a lot of competitive shooting. Actually, a majority of my sponsors are all either firearms companies or ammo companies, and it's all from like a cross mix of me shooting and then also putting them on my fight shorts. Basically, like if you like mixed martial arts or you like MMA and you follow it, guess what? Majority of the time, that same person likes guns. Yeah. So it's like it's a nice mix. And I'll shout out all my sponsors later, but that's basically all.
Make sure you do that in your social media. I agree with you. I think that something in that is maybe just the defending yourself thing. I have a 17-year-old little girl, and it's really important for me to teach her to defend herself. But I'm also reaching that line where she's a fan of Miyu Yamamoto and some of these girls, and she's like, "Dad, I want to train more." And I'm like, "You say that until you get hit square in the nose, and then it's not so much fun anymore, especially for a little girl,
Right.
and so then, so you're beginning your career, you started in King of the Cage, right?
Yep. I actually my first fight was in Lac du Flambeau, Wisconsin, and I think it was for like a side brand of the King of the Cage, like one of their co-promotions or whatever. But I got a contract with King of the Cage, and I fought a couple times with them, and then I branched out and went all over and made it to the UFC, and now I'm fighting for RIZIN.
Best show on earth. What was the, you don't have to give a number out, but what was the pay like back then? I mean, was it enough to sustain yourself at the very beginning?
Or what, like when I first started?
Yeah.
No way. You're like spending money to
travel, train.
Yeah. I mean, especially in the beginning, you don't do this for money, I mean, obviously you want to make money and you want to be famous and all that stuff and get recognition of, one of the baddest people on the planet. But, I mean, originally you don't do it for money. And if you do, you're in the wrong sport. You know what I'm saying? Like you should go play golf or baseball. They make a lot of money. Hockey players make a shit ton of money. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the sports that make a lot. Even boxing, like boxers make way, way, way more than us MMA guys.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
That's why you see people like Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic and stuff wanting to go box Tyson Fury. Why
Right.
wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
For the right amount of money, like, how much are you gonna pay me? Sweet, let's do it.
Did you ever consider boxing?
I mean, I box all the time, but not as professional. Like I would consider myself dangerous because I have so many tools, and
Hmm.
I'm not just a great boxer. So I mean, obviously, if Floyd Mayweather wanted to fight me for a shit ton of money, like 10 million, which is nothing to him,
Right,
fuck yeah, do it,
right.
dude. Like I'm gonna go as long as I can, baby. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's like my. I also believe like my home is mixed martial arts, and I would almost be embarrassing the sport of boxing by me as a mixed martial artist going and trying to compete against the best in the world in boxing. I'm not going to lie to myself. Like, yeah, I have great hands for MMA and all that, but those boxers, that's all they train. That's all they do. They are the best in the world with just their hands.
That's interesting you say that, and real humble of you to say that because you got people like George Masvidal who's, maybe playing it up, but he's convinced that he could beat Canelo. And I'm like, yeah, you got good hands for MMA, but Canelo will wipe you off the face of the earth. I'm sorry to tell you.
It's a different game. Yeah.
Well, and so your fighting style is so exciting. I wondered that because you would be limiting yourself too, right? I mean, you have really good kicks, and so it would probably be hard at this point in your career to even do a boxing match, right?
Well, I don't think it would be hard. I mean, like I said, I go through, training where we're just boxing, you
Uh,
know, and we have a bunch of boxers in our gym that just come in and they're straight boxers. I get to go play with them, right? But it's still a different game. And I mean, the only thing that I could see, like an MMA guy going into a boxing fight, his only advantage is to physically move that guy around in like the clinch and grabbing and stuff. Like that is the only advantage. A boxer that only boxes, he's going to be faster. He's going to hit harder. It's just that's the game, man. That's what
well,
they do every.
that's why when Floyd Mayweather went over there and fought, I don't know if you fought on that card, RIZIN 14. Did you fight on that card?
Yeah. Who do you
Yeah,
fight? That kid.
he fought Tenshin Nasukawa, and 30 pounds. He had 30
Yeah, he gets
pounds on
the
him.
weight. He's a kickboxer. That kid is actually really good and fast. Like kickboxing, he's a stud when he's fighting people at his own level. But you're talking about the best boxer in the world. You
And
know,
well, and so during that time, I'm like, at least put Floyd in with someone with the same weight, and your name came up because I'm like, at least Cruikshank's going to go out there and swing and battle, and it's going to be interesting.
I was backstage and I literally told that kid, I don't know if he speaks English, very little English. I'm like, dude, you should kick him in his face and you'll be famous. You'll literally be famous if you chuck a kick. Like, yeah, you'll lose all your money and stuff, but I would throw a kick. I mean, come on, you're gonna be famous. Whatever, dude.
Even if it would have been just a leg kick, that would have probably sent Mayweather running out of the ring.
That's obviously it's a different sport, it's cheating and stuff like that, but you know, it's also entertainment.
Right, right. Well, we saw, I think Trevor Burbick fought Takada, I believe. Didn't he fight? Yeah, he fought Takada from RIZIN back in the day. And Takada just tore up his legs. Burbick taped his legs, and Takada just ate up his legs until Burbick ran out of the ring, physically jumped out of the ring. That was the end of it, you know. You see, like you said, it's two different games. These boxers aren't ready for leg kicks. Let me ask you, how did you train to get kicked in the inside of the thigh and things like this? 'Cause that hurt. The shit hurts.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't feel good. Obviously like my philosophy on like striking is always stay out of range unless you're ready to for battle. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and let you get close to me, not do anything to you. I'll either move and invade, or if I'm gonna hold my ground, it's because I'm gonna throw back at you. But as far as like taking kicks, like I'm not like one of those Muay Thai guys that like sit there at practice at the end and like kick each other in the leg and stuff like that. Like, no, that's stupid. Like, I'll take the punishment in the fight. I'm not gonna do it in practice all day long. Um, like I pad up when I spar and stuff. Like
Okay.
you'll never see me spar without headgear on, without full size boxing gloves on, like shin pads. Like a lot of guys that like to spar with like those little like baby MMA gloves, and like, nope, dude, I'm gonna chuck at you. And if I had those baby ass gloves on, I would probably hurt you or hurt myself hitting you.
Yeah, well, and then you're not, like you said, you're not going to make any money on that, and you're going to put yourself out of the next fight. What the hell? I never understood that. People were like, "Oh yeah, I like to spar without headgear," and I'm like, "Oh, well, you're going to enjoy a short career, you know?"
Right. Exactly.
What would you attribute the longevity of your career to so far? Because I mean, you're still really, really good. I'd say at the top of your game now, you know?
I mean, I would say I basically because I never stopped, like I didn't take a break or anything like that. I'm pretty mentally tough as far as like constantly training and not burning out. Like I've had a pretty successful control of, I would say, it's called a gas pedal, like knowing when to go and then when to slow and relax and do something slightly different or enjoy another style or like different part of life. And then also, like I said before, where like when I'm not fighting, like I'm not constantly like I'm not constantly thinking about who I'm going to fight next or whatnot. I try to coach my guys. I have my own fight team, Michigan Top Team, and I have a bunch of guys under me, and I'm trying to raise them up to where I'm at or where I've been or even better than me, and that's the ultimate goal. So I don't get burned out because I'm not always focused on myself. I get to, as soon as I'm done fighting or I don't have a fight and it's time for me to relax, I just get to focus and push my own guys.
Oh, and then I'm sure having a baby helps with that, right? Because that's the most amazing feeling in the world, being a father. I mean, it's just crazy.
Nova is a month old and she's been to the gym more than majority of the people in 1 year. Like she comes for 2 a day. She hangs out. We have a little. She took over my office, and now it's like a big giant baby thing going on. So,
That's what happens. It's going to be your whole life. She's going to take over that kitchen right there and your gun room. And
now,
yeah, it happens. So,
now I got a little big girl. I gotta have more guns, I think.
right? Yeah, you do. Because my daughter just recently, her mom allowed her to start dating, and it wasn't my choice, believe me. But she introduces
Yeah.
me to her boyfriend one day, and I just mean mug the kid every time I see him. I got nothing to say to you. Yeah. As soon as you're out of high school and you're paying for your own bills and shit, do what you want. But that kid ain't coming over to my house.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
So as far as getting in the UFC, how did this come about? Well, first of all, I wanted to ask you. You did a bout at Slammer in the Hammer. Do you remember this fight?
Yep.
Why was it named that?
Oh, I have no clue. I forget. It was a UFC veterans. I forget the guy's name. He's a Canadian guy, but he put on the show. He was a promoter. Yeah, I forget who I. I'm pretty sure I knocked him out with a body kick. Actually,
Brad Cardinal.
yeah, Brett Cardinal. Yeah, I threw a ball kick to his chest, and he told me he literally blacked out from the body kick. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, that's how hard I hit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. That doesn't surprise me. Your kicks are vicious. And we're gonna get to. I won't keep you too long here, but I wanted to ask you about the beginning of your UFC career. How did you get that opportunity? Was it management?
No, I actually. So the Ultimate Fighter is coming up, and it was my weight class, and I'm like, dang, I need to go try out for that. But I didn't have like the funds to get a plane ticket, hotel, go try out, and all that stuff. So I hit up my managers, and I'm like, hey, find me a fight right now. And they found me one that weekend. It was in Canada. I was like, okay, yes, take it, and then also book me a plane ticket for the next day to Vegas, and that was when the tryouts were. So I fought on Saturday. I flew out Sunday. I tried out on Monday for the Ultimate Fighter.
Wow.
I fought Saturday. I knocked my guy out in like 30 seconds or something. It was really fast. It was an uppercut to a bunch of elbows on the ground because I dropped him. Super fun, fast fight. Tried it out. Came home. Like 2 weeks later, they gave me a call. They're like, "Hey, you're coming back out here for another interview and do some medical testing and stuff like that." So I did that, and then boom, I fought to get on the Ultimate Fighter, and then I was in the house for 13 weeks. That sucked, but I loved it too. So it's like
Yeah, I
whatever.
bet. What was it? Were you drinking a lot of alcohol in the house? Because I know that was kind of pushed at the time, right, to create the reality show part of it.
My season was different than all the other seasons. Um, Let me let my dogs in real fast. It's cold
No
outside.
problem. No problem.
Down, guys. Down. All right, I'm back.
All right. Yeah, I was just asking you, as far as the alcohol went, was it your season was different in what way?
Yeah, I think it was because we were there for so long. It was the live season. It was 13 weeks instead of 6.
Right.
And we basically had no contact with the outside world. We were allowed to put out tweets and stuff, but we had to write it down on a piece of paper, give it to another person, and they tweeted our stuff out. Like we had no TV, we had no television, we had no radio. It was different than what they have now. It's way different. So it's
What
like
about your loved ones? How are you contacting your loved ones?
you didn't. Soon as they took you to the hotel, because you're at a hotel for a week before the fights to get into the house. That week, like as soon as you get to the hotel, they took your cell phone. You were stuck in a room. You had to schedule time to go do a workout at the hotel workout room. That was how you did it. So I felt like I was institutionalized for 13 weeks. Like they told you when to sleep, they told you when to eat, they told you when to practice. Like when you had downtime, you basically did whatever they wanted you to do. So it's like, I've never been to jail, but I feel like obviously that's in jail because I'm sleeping in a sweet bed and I'm getting paid and I get to have whatever food I want as long as I can, write it down on this little piece of paper and somebody brings it the next day. But it is like, you have no control over anything. You're theirs.
Well,
now, I don't know, but I think now they have like computers and they get to do whatever they want. I feel like they're like going out to eat and stuff like that. I'm like,
they're
what?
going to the club. They're going to the clubs and shit.
Yeah. Literally, like if you got injured and you had to go see a doctor or something, it was like a vacation to leave the actual house and go to like outside world and talk to people. When I came back, everybody told me like I was slightly weird because I didn't get to talk to anybody else other than like the staff and the guys on the show, right? So it was like, creepy. All right. Wow. I got 5% on my phone. My phone might die.
Oh shit! All right, well let's hurry up and get through this then. All right, so we got through the Ultimate Fighter. You were in the UFC. Let's talk about RIZIN real quick. What was it like your first time in RIZIN? Your first time in Saitama? What was the experience like?
Watching Pride when I was growing up, like everybody soccer kicked people, and when I started my mixed martial arts career, my goal was to like eventually legally soccer kick somebody in the face, right, and him out. Boom. My first fight, I chucked 2. He evaded him as he was on the ground. And then eventually I hit a 3-2. He dropped. He was on his hands and knees. I run up and I kick him in the face. Boom. That was like scratch one of my life goals, kick somebody in the face on the ground. Done. So it was an awesome experience. That was when RIZIN was first coming about. I stayed in this little dinky hotel. The room was the size of my closet. Like, it was crazy. But now, since they're growing and big, they're in 5-star hotels and stuff like that. And it's freaking sweet now. But first show, I was like, holy crap, I'm in a closet.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then Lenne Hardt, of course, announcing your name, I'm sure had to be something of wonder, Yeah,
we make fun of it. Now it's like Daron Cruickshank, and it's actually Shank, but they say Cruickushankay-San. It's all part of it, and I accept it. It's awesome.
For anyone who listened to Jared Brooks' podcast, he told a story about how him and you, say each other's names in Lenne Hardt's voice. That's great. Well, so moving on to this lightweight Grand Prix, I want to get your predictions real quick. Who do you think wins this?
The guy I just fought. I forget his name.
Tofiq Musayev.
Yeah, he's tough, man, and I'm pretty sure he's like finished everybody he's fought other than me.
And you. Yeah, Daron, I talked to Johnny Case, and he said that he's reviewed all of his tapes, and the closest he was to losing was to you, and I agree. Everything I've seen, that was a super close fight. I
think he won. I think I had better striking, and I blocked all his stuff, but I hit him more. He threw a little bit more, I think, but I think he wins on the takedowns. Not that he did more punishment with the takedowns, but whatever, dude. I would love a rematch.
I'd I'd love to see that, because look what he did to Damian Brown, who we all know is really, really tough too. And he walked right through him. And everyone we've seen Tofiq fight, he's walked right through, especially with those body kicks. And I thought that was a super technical fight. I also felt like, you both of you were a little bit tentative, right, at the beginning.
We have power to knock anybody out with anything, you know what I'm saying? And he's not afraid. Actually, after that fight, I was pissing blood. I mean, he did hit me with a body shot, but you didn't see it. And I'm a battle. I'm going to battle with him.
Yeah. So it'd be fair to say that you also want him to win, just because you'd like to have a crack at the champion.
We had a 3-round decision on an awesome fight. I believe, like, I've looked at all the guys because I was trying to get into the thing, and I think he's going to win it.
Okay, and so lastly, your opponent. Well, I got one fan question after this, but Goichi Yamauchi. Have you studied very much of him? Do you watch tape, anything like this?
Yeah, I mean, I watched him before I said yes, obviously, but not crazy focused on what he can do. I mean, I think he's pretty good in his guard. I mean, you can just look at his submissions and stuff like that. Has he fought as good of guys as I have throughout my entire career? Probably not. But he is dangerous on the ground. He's got a couple of tricks on his feet, and I mean, that's him. He doesn't have power in everything he throws to knock somebody out like I do.
What about fighting in the cage again, Daron? Because it's been some years.
I think it's going to be awesome. I like a big giant cage because I can run around and hit and stuff like that. But I do like the RIZIN rules better than normal traditional rules. But we're going to that set. I like the cage, but I like the other rules.
Lastly, I'm going to ask you about the knees to the grounded opponent. We don't have that here in America, and I've heard Big John McCarthy basically talk against it. Why do you think everyone's so scared of the knees to the grounded opponent? Because all that it's going to do, in my view, is not let the wrestler stall. It makes a much more exciting fight. Wouldn't you agree? What is the reasoning that you know of that they don't allow that to happen?
Yes, it changes the grappling portion. It changes when somebody's on the ground and somebody else is standing. Like way more. It's way more dangerous to be on your back now. So you're not going to have guys sitting there because you're about to get kicked in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like the kicks to the grounded opponent. I like the knees to the grounded opponent. I'm a big fan of it. I don't know. That's just my style.
I think that you fit in perfectly with those rules. I think you're the most exciting fighter in RIZIN. I've said this to every guest that I've had on. I wish you nothing but luck. I want to ask you one thing for the fans. What music do you listen to in your free time? Because we know you come out to Real American, right? Which is the perfect thing.
I'm kind of like jack of all trades when it comes to music. Like, depends on what I'm doing. I'm doing yard work or something like that. I'm listening to country music. I'm going to boxing practice. I'm listening to old school rap. If I'm freaking grappling, we're going to techno. So it just all depends on the occasion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's about, it's just whatever, dude. Whatever the occasion.
Let's shout out to all your people, all your sponsors, and give your social media, and we'll let you go.
Dang. All right, sweet. Well, 1, thanks for having me on. 2, I want to thank all my sponsors. There's a ton of them. We have Cruickushankay. We have Phoenix Ammo, BG Defense, Oakland Tactical, ATEI Guns, Great Lakes Custom Gun Works, or Great Lakes Custom Guns. That's it. Hang on. Night Sight Optics, and I think that's a lot.
And are these all products that you use too in your personal life? You use all these products in your personal life as well?
That's the thing is I've had other sponsors like, GSL Technologies. They make suppressors. Awesome. But I've had other sponsors and I've used their product and I'm like, you know what? I can't promote this. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you don't hear them. But all those companies other than, Victos Gear, they make all the clothing and stuff I wear. Awesome stuff. They're, I think, out of Wisconsin, but all the other companies are right out of Michigan, and it's just awesome. So I try to support Michigan companies, just like all my fighters, and you gotta go hard for the murder bitten.
That's right. And I like that you said that you only will represent something. I've had sponsors approach me for the podcast. It's hard for me to say, oh yeah, I'll support this gum shield when I'm talking to fighters, and they're like, no, that shit's trash. you know, so
Right.
really hard. You got to
Yep.
do all your research and everything. Last thing for you, do you speak any Japanese?
Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Not really. Not really.
Look, you were huge in Japan, and the fans love you there. It's safe to say that we all can't wait until Saitama Super Arena, Bellator Japan. We wish you nothing but the best, Aaron. I hope to talk to you after you beat Goichi Yamauchi, first round knockout. That's what I see.
Boom, baby. Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you so much, Darren. Have a nice one, man.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
one. Yep. My phone is literally on